As the movie opens, we see a woman named Connie living with her husband Edward and their son. Connie is a housewife, while her husband works in an office. But starting today, Edward's life is about to be shaken in a way he could never have imagined. That same day, Edward leaves for work and takes their son with him. The weather is very bad, strong winds are blowing outside. After some time, Connie remembers that she needs to go to the market to buy a gift for her son. She heads out to buy the gift, but because the weather keeps getting worse, the wind becomes extremely strong. Connie has trouble walking, and there is chaos in the market. Because of the storm, it becomes difficult for her to return home. On the other hand, we see a young man named Paul who is carrying some books and heading toward his home. Due to the strong wind, Connie falls onto him. Both of them quickly get up and start picking up each other's belongings. Connie's things are scattered everywhere. Somehow, they manage to gather their items. Connie then asks Paul to help her stop a taxi, but because of the bad weather, Paul isn't able to stop even a single cab. Since Connie fell, her knees are injured and she can no longer walk properly. Paul tells Connie that if she wants, she can rest at his place, since his apartment is nearby. Connie agrees and goes with him to his flat. Once there, Connie realizes that Paul is a book dealer. Paul shows her around and says, "This is my home. How do you like it?" Connie replies that it's nice, but she wants to freshen up first. She goes into the bathroom and washes. Meanwhile, Paul prepares some refreshments for her. When Connie comes back, Paul offers her several things, but Connie is in a hurry. She asks Paul for his phone because she needs to call home. While Connie is talking on the phone, Paul starts putting an ice pack on her knees. This makes Connie feel uncomfortable, so she tells Paul that she's getting late and needs to go home. Before she leaves, Paul gives her a book, saying that it will change her life. After receiving the book, Connie becomes even more excited and starts reading it. But when Paul tries to get closer to her again, Connie decides to leave and heads back home. When Connie reaches home, she asks her son about his dad, but Edward hasn't returned yet. She then looks at her injuries. Her son comes to her and asks if she had a fight, but Connie tells him that she just fell. After a while, Edward arrives home and asks Connie about her injuries. Connie tells him everything and says that because of the strong wind she fell, but a young man helped her and took good care of her. Edward jokingly says that the guy must have been very handsome. As soon as Edward says this, Connie starts thinking about Paul because she isn't getting the happiness from Edward that she desires. That night, Connie goes to Edward and tries to be romantic with him, but Edward is too tired and can't respond to her advances. The next day, after sending her son to school, Connie starts reading the book Paul gave her. She then finds Paul's phone number inside the book. Connie thinks about calling him from a telephone booth but hesitates, wondering what she would say. After thinking for a while, she finally calls Paul and thanks him for what he did that day. As they talk, Paul asks how she is feeling. Connie tells him that she's fine now. During the conversation, Paul invites Connie to come over to his place. Connie becomes confused. At first, she refuses to meet him, but after Paul insists, Connie finally agrees to go to his house. When Connie reaches Paul's house, Paul serves her coffee and tries to impress her. While talking, he gently places his hand on hers and starts giving her a massage. This makes Connie feel a growing closeness toward Paul as well. However, Connie does not want anyone to come between her and Edward, so she immediately leaves from there. Later, Connie goes to Edward's office. In reality, Paul has awakened desires inside her, and that is why she has come to Edward to open a bank account. Edward asks Connie where she is coming from. Connie lies and says that she went to meet Venom regarding a school auction. Venom is actually a family friend of Connie and Edward. While they are talking, Edward receives an important call and is unable to open Connie's account. Because of this, Connie returns home feeling very sad. She feels that only Paul can now ease her sadness. Even though Connie is with Edward, she is not truly present with him. Her mind is drawn toward Paul. She wants to know Paul better, so the next day, Connie goes to meet Paul again. Paul welcomes her warmly, and seeing this, Connie's attraction toward him grows even stronger. The two of them begin to grow closer and start dancing together. As they dance, their feelings awaken. Paul then lifts Connie and takes her into a room where they take their relationship to the next level. Connie also starts to feel good about being in a relationship with Paul. Paul seems like a decent man, but Connie cannot stay with him for long, so she says goodbye to him. On her way back, she keeps thinking only about Paul because he has brought back the happiness she had lost. On the other hand, while Edward is returning home from the office, he runs into Venom and asks him about the school auction. Venom tells him that he has been out of town for many days and hasn't spoken to Connie at all. Hearing this, Edward realizes that Connie lied to him. That night, Edward asks Connie about it, but Connie tells him that he is mistaken and that he is doubting her without reason. Saying this, she walks away, leaving Edward stunned. Connie had never answered him like this before. Even though Connie knows that having a relationship with Paul is wrong, she finds herself unable to stay away from him. Gradually, Connie and Paul start meeting more often. She is living two lives, one with Paul and another with Edward. Connie truly loves Edward, but she has also begun to enjoy being with Paul. One day, Connie meets Paul at a restaurant where they are talking to each other. Connie tells Paul that they should leave because she is afraid Edward might see them, but Paul does not listen to her and starts kissing her. This is where Connie's bad days begin, because Edward's friend Billy sees them together. Billy can't bring himself to say anything at that moment and quietly leaves. In the next scene, we see Connie taking a shower. Edward comes there and thinks about being intimate with her, but Connie tells him that she's not in the mood today and walks away. In reality, being close to Edward no longer gives her the same comfort that she feels with Paul. The next day, Connie gets dressed and is about to go meet Paul. She looks very happy. Just then, Edward asks her to go out with him for a walk, but Connie tells him that she has to go to the salon today and that they can go some other day. Hearing this, Edward becomes even more suspicious. Still, he calmly tells her, "Baby, we had planned to go out today. That's why I even took a day off from work." Connie doesn't listen to him and leaves anyway. A little later, Edward goes to his office and calls the salon to ask whether a woman named Connie has come in. The salon staff tells him that no one named Connie has come there. Meanwhile, Connie is on her way to meet Paul. She's almost at Paul's place when she suddenly runs into her childhood friends. They ask her where she's going. Connie lies and tells them that she's going to the market to buy some kitchen items. Her friends invite her to have coffee with them, but Connie says she has some important work and can't join them. However, when her friends insist, Connie ends up going to a restaurant with them. Once there, she calls Paul and tells him, "I'll be late. I'm having coffee with my friends." Hearing this, Paul arrives at the same restaurant shortly afterward. He signals to Connie and motions for her to come behind him. Seeing Paul, Connie's friend becomes suspicious. When Paul goes to the restroom, a little while later Connie also follows him there. Watching this, her friend's suspicion grows even stronger. Inside, Paul and Connie are getting closer to each other, but her friends find the situation very strange because Connie has been gone for quite some time. This makes them start doubting her even more. When Connie finally returns, her condition makes their suspicion turn into certainty. They realize that she has just spent time with that same man. They want to question her further, but Connie stays completely silent. She understands that if she keeps meeting Paul like this, very soon everyone will find out about them. Because of this, she soon meets Paul again and explains to him that meeting like this isn't right. Paul ignores her words, and once again they spend more time together. On the other hand, Edward fires his friend Billy from the job because Billy has been getting involved with other companies. Edward says to him, "I trusted you a lot, but you betrayed me. Is this what your family taught you?" Hearing this, Billy gets angry and says to Edward, "Before saying anything about my family, you should find out about your wife, what she's really been up to outside." After hearing Billy's words, Edward becomes completely convinced that Connie is cheating on him. The next day, Edward goes to meet a man he has hired to keep an eye on Connie. From now on, he wants her to be closely watched and investigated. That night, Edward tells Connie that he has to go out of town for a few days and asks her to take care of herself and their child. The next morning, Edward leaves. As soon as he's gone, Connie decides to take advantage of the opportunity and then leaves to meet Paul. In this way, they start meeting every day and having a great time together. But Connie doesn't know that Edward has hired a detective to follow her, and he is secretly taking photos of Connie and Paul together. Connie becomes so blinded by her love for Paul that she even forgets to pick up her son from school. When she finally gets home, she feels deeply upset. Because of Paul, she has forgotten to even think about her husband and her son. Realizing this, Connie feels extremely guilty and full of regret. As a result, she decides to leave Paul. She calls him, but he doesn't answer. Just then, her son comes to her, and she decides to stay home with him. On the other hand, the detective shows Edward all the photos he took of Connie and Paul meeting each other. Seeing the pictures, Edward is devastated. He can't believe that Connie could betray him in such a big way. The next morning, Connie is buying some items at a store, but her heart isn't there. She can't live without seeing Paul. Eventually, she heads toward Paul's apartment to meet him. On the way, she tries calling Paul, but he doesn't answer. It's raining heavily, and Connie feels restless. She starts thinking that maybe Paul is betraying her too. When she reaches his place, she sees Paul with another woman. Seeing this, Connie becomes furious and starts attacking the woman. Paul stops Connie and pulls her away. After that, Connie decides to leave, giving Paul a firm answer, but Paul follows her and comes close to her again. Connie is unable to free herself from Paul's love. She had come to end a relationship, but once again, she ends up giving her heart to him. The next day, Edward goes to Paul's house and confronts him about his relationship with Connie. He tells Paul, "The woman you've been seeing is my wife." Paul responds by saying that Edward couldn't give his wife happiness, which is why she came to him. Hearing this, Edward loses his temper and strikes Paul on the head with a nearby snow globe, killing him instantly. Seeing this, Edward panics. He starts wiping away all the evidence and deletes all of Connie's messages from Paul's phone. Just then, another message from Connie arrives, in which she tells Paul that she will not meet him again and that she truly loves Edward. After this, Edward somehow places Paul's body into the trunk of his car and then goes to his son's school function. However, he notices that there is blood on him, so he goes to the restroom and cleans himself up. After the function ends, while Edward is driving back home, another car suddenly hits his from behind. Edward panics because Paul's body is in the trunk of his car. Somehow he manages to get away and reaches home, where he disposes of Paul's body. From then on, Edward starts living in constant fear, worried that the police might find out about what he did. Seeing Edward so disturbed, Connie tries to talk to him, but Edward doesn't tell her anything. A few days later, the police come to Edward and Connie's house and ask Connie about Paul. Connie tells them that she doesn't know much about Paul, that he wasn't her friend, and that they had only met casually. After that, Connie starts living normally again with her family. However, a few days later, the police find Paul's body. They come back to question Connie again and tell her that Paul's body has been found. They ask her when she last spoke to Paul. Connie lies and tells them that the last time she met Paul was at a restaurant. After the police leave, Connie is deeply saddened by Paul's death. One day, Connie goes to pick up Edward's clothes from the laundry. There, she finds photos of herself and Paul hidden in Edward's clothes. From this, Connie realizes that Edward knew everything about her and Paul. That night, she goes to talk to Edward about it. Angrily, Edward tells her the truth, that he was the one who killed Paul because Connie betrayed him and he couldn't bear to see her with someone else. He says that he never wanted to kill Paul, but it happened by mistake, and now what's done is done. After this, both of them decide to bury everything that happened and start living together again. Connie also realizes that she was wrong and that Edward truly loved her while she had been betraying him. Accepting her mistake, Connie feels deep regret. When Connie burns the photos of herself and Paul, memories of Paul come rushing back, and she becomes extremely sad because she had spent so much time with him. In the end, Connie and Edward apologize to each other and begin a new life together. With this suspenseful note, the movie comes to an end. Friends, if you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. And do leave a comment telling us which movie you'd like to see next.